Commanders fans, so I'm sick right now. This is a tough one. It's a tough way to go out. You know, I don't want to blame the refs, but when you clearly see Darnay Holmes grab Curtis Samuel, it just makes me sick to my stomach. When they call a ridiculous, egregious, illegal formation on Terry McLaurin, he checks in with the ref. He points to the ref. He's saying, am I good? Am I good? They call illegal formation on him. The pick play by Jahan Dotson, that was a ridiculous call too. I didn't agree with going for 2 at that time. And then Joey Slye misses the kick, which of course is just such a Washington thing to happen. To miss the extra point and we lose by 8, where we could have just been down 20 to 13 or whatever. Could have just scored a touchdown. Wouldn't have had to go for a 2. Could have tied, went to overtime again, which would have been almost identical to the tie that we had last week. But it is what it is. We just find ways to shoot ourselves in the foot. Offensive line, they lost the battle again. They got beat last week by the Giants defensive line in the blitz with Wink Martindale calling blitzes almost every down. Kayvon Thibodeau was just beating us, man. He did. The forced fumble that we got lucky with, where Heineke had the ball up in the air, about to throw his blind side, got hit from the blind side right before overtime, and he didn't fumble the ball. This time he fumbled the ball, and Kayvon Thibodeau made a point and made sure that he was going to force a fumble, and he got a touchdown. He was not going to miss his opportunity this time. Our offensive line got dominated again. We have to draft offensive linemen. We have to revamp his offensive line. I like Leno a lot, but there's just times where he's lost his matchup this year. He just has. And I'm not blaming him, but the offensive line, once again, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, we have some legitimate wide receivers, man. They are being wasted right now. They are. It's unfortunate. Scott Turner, calling reverse. A 3rd and 3, you run up the middle with Curtis Samuel on 3rd and 3. On 3rd and 3, when our wide receivers can get open, there's no corner that can check Terry. There's no corner on the Giants that can check Curtis. There's no corner on the Giants that can check Jahan. Look at Jahan, that 61-yard catch, and it's wasted because we fumbled the ball because we can't protect. And Heineke, that was a fluke kind of fumble, but they saw it, and Brian Daboll was smart, and he challenged it. And he said we got 0. We couldn't even get a field goal out of that. You couldn't even get a field goal out of that play. So yes, Chris Collinsworth said it was a holding penalty on Darnay Holmes. Everybody said it. Mike Tirico, everybody, the ref guy, like Fox has Mike Pereira. They have NBC has their own ref guy that comes in, chimes in, and gives his opinion. They all said it was a pass interference, and it was. You hate for it to come down to that, but we shot ourselves in the foot. We couldn't stop Saquon Barkley. 4th and 9. 4th and 9. We give up a pass to, was it Richie James or Isaiah Hodgins? Richie James. No disrespect to those guys, but we let them convert on a 4th and 9. You don't deserve to win a football game like that. If you give up a play on 4th and in your own home and on your own territory, 4th and 9, they're throwing the football, and you give up a 4th and 9. You give up a 4th and 9. Inexcusable. Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, Ron Rivera. Like I said, every time. Decision making, calling timeouts, when to go for 2. When to go for it, when to kick a field goal, when to punt. That is always my keys to victory. And Ron Rivera, more likely than not, he fails that key to victory. The 6-1 stretch or 6-1-1 stretch, he was doing better. I say that in my preview every time. He's doing better at it. Clock management. But this time, we're on our own 34. We punt the football. The Giants get on our 34. They go for it on 4th and 9. We punt the football. We don't kick a field goal. Then later in the game, you kick a 51-yard field goal with Joey Slye. Ron Rivera, his decision-making is just so bad. He does not understand this football common sense and decision-making. He just doesn't get it. Doesn't understand. And that's why if he does not make the playoffs, it's time for him to go. I don't care who it is. I don't care who the owner is. If we don't make the playoffs, you got to get a new mind in there, a new way of thinking, innovative thinking, something. You got to get a new brain trust in there at the coach's staff. And Scott Turner's got to go, man. 3rd and 3, that was so awful. And then we had the ball on the goal line where we got stopped before the end of the game. Before they called a timeout, the Giants were going to call a timeout because they're going to have too many men on the field or not enough guys on the field. Looked like he was going to run a reverse with De'Ami Brown. You have Brian Robinson, who's been running the ball effectively every time. So 6 yards, 7 yards a carry, 12 carries for 8 9 yards. And you want to run a reverse? Get too cute. The flea flicker before that play, I didn't like that play call either. If it worked, okay, yeah, it's good. But why get cute when we're playing smash mouth football and that's what's working? It just makes zero sense to me. So Very disappointing loss, man. I'll go on my notes here real quick. Let's look at the stats real quick, though. Third downs, I thought we did a good job. The Giants were 2 for 10. We were awful on third downs, 1 for 10. Just basically similar to the game 2 weeks ago. Really was. It was similar in a sense. It really was. Except for that we didn't go into a 10-0 lead. Fourth downs, they were 1 for 1. We were 1 for 2 on fourth downs. Of course, that 4th and goal, we missed it. Running the ball, we were effective, man. 159 yards on the ground. Brian Robinson, 12 carries for 89 yards. I thought he had a heck of a game. He's a baller, man. He was pushing the pile, churning, moving his legs, pushing the pile. There was one time where he just made some shake and got open and ran for a first down. 159 rushing yards, 128 for the Giants. I thought we did a better job containing Daniel Jones running the football. He didn't go for 70 yards, I'll say that. Saquon had a good game, though. We when we needed to get stops, we didn't on Saquon. On that drive, that last drive, he was getting it. He was running up the middle, man, and he broke John Boss's ankles in that first half. It was ridiculous. It was really bad. 6 penalties. Got it. I mean, some of the penalties were phantom calls, but you know, we just got to be better, man. We had to delay a game. There was one. It was like 3rd and 27 at one point. We had to delay a game. That's on the coaching staff. That's on the coaching staff, in my opinion, to delay a game. Then we had a false start by Jahan. Then we had an illegal motion by Logan Thomas. It's like, we're in our own house. Why are we false starting for one? Why are we having to delay a game in our own house? It makes 0 sense. 0 sense. 2 turnovers. That's ball game right there. 2 turnovers. I think the 1 turnover might have been the turnover on downs on the 4th and goal, but the penalty killed us. The Giants had 0 turnovers. We didn't force any turnovers. Antonio Gibson did fumble the ball. Oh, no, Heineke had the fumble, and then, yeah, Heineke had 2 fumbles. They were lost. Gibson did fumble the ball, but he picked it back up, so we got lucky on that. Dax Milne was down before the fumble on the punt. He's just not a good punt returner. He catches the fair catch, which is fine. But if he's trying to make something happen, make something shake, make somebody missing a fumble, he's not doing that. He's just not. That's not his game. But you know, we've been through muff punts before with Steven Sims, so it is what it is. I'll take somebody just catching the ball over than somebody who's like quick and elusive, but at the same time they're susceptible to putting the ball on the floor and fumbling the football. So I guess I'll take what Dax Milne is giving us right now because he's not turning the football over. Time of possession. That was our first time losing the time of possession battle probably in a long time. The Giants beat us by 1 minute. But it is what it is on that. Look at my notes real quick, man, and I'm just sick to my stomach, man. 7-6-1. The Lions are playing good football. They're 7-7. They're not too far behind. Of course, we're battling with the Giants. The Seahawks are dwindling away, though. They are kind of spiraling away. We play with the Niners on Saturday. It's gonna be a hell of a game, man. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. It is. It's gonna be a tough game. It is. Brock Purdy's no joke. Nick Bosa's no joke. We can't block Kayvon Thibodeau, so we'll see what we do with Nick Bosa and them guys. Cornelius Lucas got called for a holding penalty. I thought that was a little iffy. This is in my notes right there. Kayvon Thibodeau, the sack fumble, of course. Good run by Brian Robinson. I thought De'Ami Brown got interfered with in the first half, too. I wrote that down. I'm trying to remember the play, but I thought he got interfered on one play in the second quarter. I wrote down Saquon Barkley was cooking us in the second quarter. He was. He cooked John Bostic, and he was getting a couple good runs. Third down, giving up to Richie James on a screen pass. 4th and 9, giving up to Richie James. So it was Richie James who caught the 4th and 9. Isaiah Hodgins over the middle, wide open in zone. That was too easy. They missed a helmet-to-helmet on Curtis Samuel. I thought Darnay Holmes did a helmet-to-helmet. They didn't call that. The third quarter, we finally got the ball to Terry McLaurin. We made a point that we were finally going to get him the football, and that's when the offense finally started to open up. He had a couple good catches. We threw a screen pass to him, and then he got a catch run after the catch. De'Ami Brown did have a nice reverse run. Logan Thomas in legal motion. I was upset with that. Jahan Dotson, man, that's 6 touchdowns on the year, man. He's a dog. You got to get your playmakers to football. I know our identity, but I hate for our wide receivers to be wasted away. But it is what it is. I know our identity is running the football, but we got guys that can get open, man. They can. Jahan Dotson, nobody can check him. Nobody can check Curtis. That toe tap catch by Curtis on the sideline, that was a beautiful catch by Curtis Samuel. That was a beautiful catch. It was a good throw by Heineke, too. Heineke also almost threw an interception to Julian Love. That could have just ended the game right there. That could have just ended the game. It's probably the football karma because I think was it before the end of the game where we got stopped on the 4th and goal, or was that before he fumbled the ball? If it was before he fumbled the ball, that was probably football karma because Julian Love just dropped it, hands like snake, clearly football in his hands, just dropped the interception from Heineke. And I think on the next 2 plays he fumbled the ball. I could be wrong about that. They called the offensive pass interference, the pick play on Jahan Dotson. I did not like the decision to go for 2. It would have been 14. It would have been, what, 13? No, I'm sorry. It would have been 13-10. I got to look at the score. I'm just all mixed up, man, because I'm pissed off. But it would have been 13-10 if we would have just went for 2. But it was 13-9. It was 13. It ended up being 13-9 instead of 13. No. Yeah, 14-9 instead of 14-10. So it was going to be 14-11 if we would have made the 2-point conversion. But it was 14-9. I thought it was unnecessary. I thought it could have just been 14-10. It was the third quarter. I thought it was unnecessary to go for 2, and that's just Ron Rivera, man. Just unnecessary going for 2. The game that we lost against the Giants 2 years ago, unnecessarily going for 2. The Lions game earlier this year, unnecessarily going for 2 when you don't have to. It's just mental mistakes by Ron Rivera. Dumb flea flicker. I wrote that down on 2nd and 3. Dax Milne almost fumbles. Gibson almost fumbles. Heineke hit on 3rd down. 51-yarder by Joey Sly. That was a good kick, but you got to make the extra point. Derek Forrest, that was a huge stop on 3rd down. You got to catch that interception, though. You got to catch the interception. That was a good play. I understand you don't want to whiff on the interception, but that was a good play by Derek Forrest. He makes big plays, but you got to catch that. You got to catch that interception. Daniel Jones had a reverse first down run where he tried to bully Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson got up and pushed Daniel Jones down. Danny Johnson did get away with that. They could have called like a unnecessary roughness penalty. We had a big stop on 3rd down. We got some big stops on 3rd down. We did. I'll give the defense credit for that. We did get some big stops on 3rd. I thought Montez Sweat, he had some pressure against Evan Neal, but he just didn't get home. We just didn't get home enough on Daniel Jones. Yeah, that's about it for my notes, man. Excuse me. It's an uphill battle now. We can never make things easy for us. And yes, if you're asking about Heineke, Wentz, Sam Howell, who should start next week, I'm still sticking with Heineke next week. I'm still sticking with Heineke because I like what he did in the second half. Yes, he could have threw the interception to Julian Love. I get that. But his mobility, and when they ran the ball with Heineke, it worked. They need to do that more. I don't know why they haven't done that more. The read option, it works. The keepers, they work with Heineke. Use his legs. You saw what Jalen Hurts did to the Giants last week. I know he's not as fast and elusive as Jalen Hurts, but he can do stuff like that. He can run. He can move. He can make guys miss. And we don't use Heineke's strengths enough. We don't use his legs enough. And I think that's something that we got to use against the Niners. They're a tough defense. So you got to throw the kitchen sink at the Niners. You really have to. But it's a tough loss. Niners, Browns, Cowboys. I watched the Browns game against the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't look too bad. Nick Chubb is the real deal. Deshaun Watson is fast, man. He can move. He's a mobile quarterback. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the football. And he's getting better and better each game. He's getting more comfortable after being out for, 2 years. So we can't blame the refs on this. I know the refs, they hosed us. They worked us. The fix was in. They must want the Giants to win this game or something like that. But it was ridiculous. It really was. And I'm not going to shy away from talking about the refs. It was ridiculous. Some of these calls were egregious. They were. And no calls were egregious. They were. But I'm not going to blame the refs. I'm going to tip my cap to the Giants. They took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. And we let them off the hook. They are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook. We had a week to prepare in a bye week. Chase Young, we'll see what happens with Chase Young, man. Hey, look, I've said this time and time again. The D-line is playing okay without him. If he's there, it's a plus. But if he's not, it is what it is, man. You just got to keep moving and moving forward. Now, if he's really not ready, then shut him down for the season. Don't have this Rappaport, Schefter says he's going to play, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a report comes out Sunday morning, he's not going to play. Either have it one way or the other. Look, there's 3 games left in the season. So I understand every knee injury is different. Tre'Davious White didn't play a whole season. Derwin James, he didn't have a knee injury, but he's missed a lot of time. So you got to let guys recover. You don't want to have another RG3 situation. But it's like every week, Ron Rivera, he did this with Curtis Samuel last year too. Just kind of trying to not be transparent or real with really what's going on with the injury. So I would love to see Chase Young play out there, but if he's not ready, then sit him for the rest of the season. The D-line's been fine. But they definitely could have used some pass rush tonight. We didn't get enough pass rush tonight. And maybe Chase Young could have helped out with that. Maybe he could have. So if he can play, situational pass rusher, 3rd downs, come in and pass rush on 3rd downs. If that's what he can do, 15 snaps, so be it. Let him play. But once again, if he's not ready, then set him out for the rest of the year. We can't just keep teetering back and forth, He's going to play, and then he doesn't play. And then Sunday morning we get a report he's not going to play. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on that. But I'm rooting for Chase Young. A big Chase Young fan. They've been fine without him. So, we'll see. So, uphill battle, guys. Uphill battle, man. I'll just wrap it up here, man. I know the crowd did show out. I heard you guys on TV. You guys showed out. I know Left Hand Up, they performed before the game. Vernon Davis performed before the game. The Sean Taylor memorial, they changed it to a Reebok jersey. They put the stickers on the helmet now and stuff like that. So they changed it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it is what it is. I'll try to do studs and duds maybe tomorrow. I know we lost, but I'm going to try to get something out to you guys tomorrow. All right, you guys. Health to Commanders. Peace.